Hey guys, Deomitra one more time. A very warm welcome and a very good afternoon to all of you. Hope you guys are doing well, right? So, guys, in my previous session, I have talked about so many things, and right now I'm going to talk about MongoDB because in my previous session I have provided the knowledge about MERN stack technology. In MERN stack technology, MongoDB is a very important technology in that. Okay, so right now I'm going to give you the idea about MongoDB, how an interviewer can ask you the questions about MongoDB, what kind of questions you can face in an interview. I'm going to talk about this. Okay, so let's get started, guys. So MongoDB is a document database that stores the database in JSON documents. It works over the documents and collections concept. MongoDB can store multiple database and provides higher performance besides scalability and redundancy. Okay, this MongoDB interview question is mainly designed to provide you with basic ideas about the kind of interview questions you might face. Okay, so normally in interviews recruiters start with basic questions and slowly they will increase the difficulty level. So in this MongoDB interview session, I'm going to talk about like that. Okay, first we will cover the basic questions and then move to the complex questions. Though this has hand-picked MongoDB interview questions, you can prepare for your MongoDB job interview. So I have categorized MongoDB interview questions 2022 in 4 labels. The labels are: the first one is top, uh, the second one is basic, the third one is advanced, and the next one is experience. Top 10 frequently asked MongoDB interview questions are: what is MongoDB? What are the features of MongoDB? What type of NoSQL database MongoDB is? Difference MongoDB and MySQL. Difference between MongoDB and MySQL. What is the issue of MongoDB? What is the syntax of the skip method? How do we delete everything from the MongoDB database? How do we perform the join operations in MongoDB? What are the data types of MongoDB? How do we retrieve MongoDB database in JavaScript array? So top MongoDB interview questions and the answers I'm going to give you. Okay. So what is MongoDB? MongoDB is a cross-plot from document-based database categorized as a NoSQL database. Okay, MongoDB avoids the conventional table-oriented relational database structure and support of the JSON-like documents with the dynamic scams. Okay, making the data integration in specific kinds of applications quicker and simpler. MongoDB was developed by a software company, Trengen, in October 2007 as an element of the planned platform as the service product. After that, the company was shifted to a freeware deployment model in 2009. So, providing sales assistance and other services. What are the features of MongoDB? The following are the important features of a MongoDB: a compliant data model in the format of documents, agile and extremely scalable database, quicker than traditional database, demonstrative query language. Okay, what are the type of NoSQL database MongoDB is? MongoDB is the document-oriented database. It stores the data in the form of the business structure-oriented databases. We store these documents in a collection. Explain namespace. A namespace is the series of the collection name and database name. Basic MongoDB interview questions and answers can what will be. I'm going to talk about this. The differentiate MongoDB and MySQL. Despite MySQL and MongoDB being freeware and open source databases, there are several differences between them in terms of what data relationship, transaction, performance speeds, qualifying data, and schema design, normalization, etc. The comparison between MongoDB and MySQL is similar to the comparison between non-relational and relational database. Explain indexes in MongoDB. In MongoDB, we use indexes for executing the queries efficiently. Without using indexes, MongoDB should carry out a collection scan all the documents of a collection for selecting the documents which match the query statement. If a suitable index is available for a query, MongoDB will use an index for restricting the number of documents it should examine. Okay, so why MongoDB is the best NoSQL database? MongoDB is the best NoSQL database due to the following features. The first one is high performance. The second one is high availability. The third one is easily scalable. And the fourth one is rich query language. Last but not the least, it's document oriented. Okay. So explain the significance of the covered query. A covered query makes the query implementation quicker as we store the indexes in the RAM or consecutively located on the disk. It makes query execution quicker. The covered query covers all the fields in the index. MongoDB matches the query condition along with returning the result fields. So what is a replica test? Replica set. We can specify the replica as a set of the Mongo instances which host a similar data set. In the replica set, one node will be primary and another one will be secondary. We replicate all the data from the primary to the secondary nodes. So what is the difference between MongoDB and Cassandra? MongoDB, it is a cross-platform document-oriented database system. Cassandra, it is a high-performance distributed database system. In MongoDB, it is developed in C++. Cassandra is developed in Java. MongoDB is simple to administer in the failure case. Cassandra offers high availability. So explain the primary and secondary replica set. In MongoDB, primary nodes are the nodes that accept writing. Primary nodes are also called master nodes. Replication in MongoDB is a single master. Therefore, only one node will accept the write operations at once. Which language can we use with MongoDB? At present, MongoDB offers driver support to C++, Java, PHP, Perl, Python, Go, Scala, and Ruby. So explain storage encryption. Storage encryption encodes all the MongoDB data over the storage or over the operating system for assuring that only authenticated processes will access the safeguarded data. So explain the primary and secondary replica sets. Primary replica set receives all the write operations from the clients. Secondary replica sets replicate the primary replica sets and implement the operations for their data sets so that secondary data sets affect the primary data sets. What is the importance of GridFS and journaling? GridFS, we use GridFS to retrieve and store large files like images, videos, and audio files. Journaling, we use journaling for secure backups in MongoDB. How to do locking or transaction in MongoDB? MongoDB does not use traditional locking with the reduction because it is high speed, knowledgeable, and light in the presentation. We can consider it as the MySQL auto interest script. Though the simpler business sustain, we can enhance the performance, especially in the structure with various servers. So how to do journaling in MongoDB? We save the right operations in the memory while journaling in taking place. Okay, the on-disk journal files are dependable for the reason that journal writers are usual. In the DB path, MongoDB designs a journal subdictionary. Okay, so how does MongoDB provides Concurrency. MongoDB utilizes the reader-writer locks, enabling concurrent readers to access any supply such as a collection of database. Through it provides private access to individual writers. Explain sharding and uh, aggregation in MongoDB. Aggregations are the activities that handle the data records and give the record results. Sharding means storing the data on multiple machines. So, what is the importance of profiler in MongoDB? MongoDB contains a database profiler that shows the performance characteristics of every operations against the database. Though the profiler, we can identify the queries that are slower than they should be and use this data to determine when we require an index. Define collection. The collection is a set of MongoDB documents. Explain aggregation pipeline. The aggregation pipeline acts as a framework to perform aggregation tasks. We use this pipeline for transforming the documents into aggregated results. Explain map reduce. MapReduce is a standard multi-phase data aggregation modality, okay, that we use to process the data quantities. So explain splitting. Splitting is the background process that we use to store chunks from increasing to large. What is the purpose of save method? We use the save method for replacing the existing documents with new documents. What is the use of MongoDB? Generally, we use MongoDB as the main data store for the operational requirements with live in needs. Generally, MongoDB is suitable for 80% of the applications which we develop today. MongoDB is simple to operate and extend in ways that are tough if they are not possible with the relational databases. MongoDB stands out in various use cases where the relational databases are not suitable, like applications with semi-structured, structured, along with the big scalability needs or the multi-data center deployments. So MongoDB cannot be suitable for some applications. For instance, applications that need complex transactions and scan-based applications that access huge subsets of the data largely cannot be suitable for MongoDB. Some general uses of MongoDB comprise product catalogs, mobile apps, content management, real-time personalization, and applications providing individual views throughout several systems. So, what is the purpose of the DB command? We use the DB command to get the name of the presently selected database. What are the restrictions of the MongoDB 32-bit version? When we run 32-bit version of MongoDB, the total storage size of the server containing index and data in 2 GB. Due to this reason, we will not deploy MongoDB to the production on the 32-bit machines. If we deploy a 64-bit version of MongoDB, there is no virtual restriction to the storage size. For the creation deployment, we strongly recommend 64-bit operating systems and builds. When should we normalize the data in MongoDB? In realize objectives, normalization provides an updated, effective data representation. Denormalization makes data reading effective. Generally, we utilize embedded data models when we have contains relationships between the entities. When we have one-to-many relationships between the entities. In the relationships, many or the child document display in the context of the parent document. Generally, we use normalized data models when embedding results in duplication of the data, yet they will not give enough read performance advantages to prevail the duplication implications. Okay, for representing more difficult many to many relationships, for modeling the big hierarchical data sets, how do we perform storing and explain project in MongoDB. For finding any data in MongoDB, we use the find method. The discovery method returns the collections documents over which we invoked this method. We can use the where clause in the MongoDB query in order to restrict the output by using MongoDB projection. Anytime we execute the find method, MongoDB returns all the documents associated with a particular collection. How can MongoDB simulate subquery or join? We have to find the best method for structuring the data in MongoDB for simulating what would be the simple subquery or join in SQL. For example, we have users and post with the users in one collection and post in another collection. We have to find all the posts by the users whose city is Hyderabad. Define operational log. What is op log? An operational log is a special kind of limited collection that stores a rolling record of all the operations which change the data we store in our database. Primarily, it applies all the database operations over operation over primary, and after that records that operation on the oplog of the primary. After that, the secondary members replicate and apply the operations in the asynchronous process. So how do we create database in MongoDB? When I want to create a database in MongoDB, what happens? The solutions of the we remove the mongo.log from the folder substart MongoDB and Mongo. Okay, so these are the question answers, guys. If you want to know about MongoDB, if you wanted to learn the min stack technology, kindly communicate with us. In PCS Global, we are providing the training about all those technologies. And if you have that goal set that in my life I wanted to be a software developer, in PCS Global we are providing the training in Salesforce. We are providing the training in Java full stack development, in Python full stack development, in MERN and MERN technology, okay, in Java DevOps. So kindly find that way to connect with us. In each and every video I am providing the link about the webinar. The masterclass sessions are going on, that is every Saturday. Okay, the timings of the masterclass classes of all technologies are different, so you can find whatever masterclass you want to join. So kindly go the description box and find out all the links and do enroll yourself and be a part of PCS Global. Our CLP project is also going on. In our it's an on-job training. You can get the training from PCS Global, and after having the training, you will you will work in our own project. You can work in our client project also. PCS Global will provide you one associate code. In that associate, that code will be the proof that you are already working in an software development company. So guys, don't waste time. Kindly find out what you wanted to do in your life and kindly communicate with us. We are always here to help you. We have already helped more than 1,500 plus people, and all of them are working very successfully in various MNCs all over the India and all over the world also. So guys, if you're thinking that is it possible for me to prove myself, I will say yes. It's the time for you. The next turn can be yours if you will take the proper responsibility, and we are here to give you that first ladder of success. So in PCS Global, we provide training. Our free internship process programs are going on. In our free internship program, we are providing the first knowledge, the prior knowledge of any technology. So if you wanted to know about that, what you have, either you have that capability to be a software developer or not, kindly join the first internship programs. Also in that internship programs, you can evaluate yourself. You can get that knowledge that either you are able to do it or not. So take right decision in right time. Don't waste time. Communicate with us. get proper knowledge, and be a successful IT professional. This is for now, guys. Bye for now. Can you subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon, and comment.